I know.
Yeah. Oh, you know.
Call to order this meeting in the Nettle Creek School Board. To all members present with the exception of Mrs. Houghton. In compliance with the open meeting law,
Yes.
please stand for the pledge of allegiance. It's a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
very much. All right, first we have approval and or correction of the regular board meeting minutes from March 11th, 2026. Do I have a motion? Second. Any corrections or discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 6-0. Move to public comment if there's anyone. Seeing none, we'll move to superintendent spotlight.
All right, another exciting night to honor some of our great students. Tonight, we're honoring students with the Wayne County Civics Bee. It is a regional competition designed to encourage middle school students to get engaged with concepts of American democracy, civic duty, and community problem solving. It is part of a national initiative by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation to strengthen civic knowledge in future generations. Students in grades 6, 7, and 8 submit a 500-word essay identifying a community problem and posing a solution based on civic principles. The top 20 essayists are invited to a live multi-round event. This includes a game show style quiz on civil history and government, followed by a presentation where finalists defend their essay solutions before a panel of local judges. Our Hagerstown Junior High School had 7 students who qualified for the live round, which is Friday evening. I will ask each of them to come up and introduce themselves and just briefly share a little bit about the essay that they wrote and their solution. I also want to bring up Mrs. Mary Randall, who is our junior high English teacher, to share a little bit as the prep process as well. So come on up, Mrs. Randall, and come on up, students. Yeah, front and center.
So I don't know if you guys remember last year we did this. We had several students go last year as well. So this is our second year doing this in 7th grade. And our prep process, basically how it works is in our honors class, every student participates. And so we spend several classes preparing our essays. They pick their problem, what their solution would be, organizations that they would work with. We spend a lot of time researching, writing. We collaborate with Mr. Bullock and Mrs. Claywell. And once we found out who our 7 finalists were, we do have 1 8th grader. So 6 7th graders and then 1 8th grader who is not here tonight. But once we knew who our finalists were, we are getting together twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday mornings before school. And they've written their summaries and practiced civics questions and public speaking. They presented their summaries on Tuesday to Buster, and then they'll do that again tomorrow to get some public speaking experience and whatnot.
Each one of you want to introduce yourself and share a little bit about your essay? Who wants to go first? Don't be bashful.
My name is Carly Kings, and I wrote about nursing shortages in Indiana hospitals.
Awesome. What was your solution, Carly?
My solution was to create a program with IU hospitals to go into school and teach kids to go to the nursing field.
Are you interested in the nursing field? Okay, awesome, great.
My name is Aniston Stapleton, and my idea was to stop underage drinking while driving.
And your solution?
I was going to have parents or guardians to have the option to have breathalyzers installed into their child's breathing.
Okay, very nice, good.
My name is Briella Lamar, and my subject is motor vehicle safety.
Okay, and what was your solution, Briella?
Hold free local classes and to spread information about the safety of when driving.
Good.
My name is Chloe Morris, and my problem is people not properly acknowledging mental health struggles.
Very good. What was your solution?
A partner of town halls and places like that to build more places for mental health caretakers and some hangout places.
Awesome, awesome. What, any of you can answer this question, but what have you enjoyed most about either writing your essay or preparing for Friday evening competition? Is there a part that maybe stands out to you most that you've enjoyed? Definitely writing the essay, kids. It was writing the essay. Mrs. Randall's right here. What are you looking forward to?
We really enjoyed the ice cream.
I know. She sent me some pictures. I do have pictures, sorry, doing too many things. And I saw donuts. I'm like, there's always bribery. So there were donuts in the picture as well.
Gracious enough to, we meet at 7:30, which is pretty early for most of the students. So our parents were gracious enough this year to donate breakfast every day for them. And then we did, I promised them we would have an ice cream party to celebrate. So they got their ice cream party today. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So they will, again, make it on to the next round. That is with all the top 20 finalists, I believe, in Wayne County. So that comes from all 5 Wayne County public schools. There was a selection committee for the essays, and they will get to go Friday evening to IU East at Vivian Hall. I believe it starts at 6:30. It's open to the community. I think you're going to enjoy that part too. When I spoke to the kids who participated in that last year, they said that part was fun and proud, interactive parents. So look forward to that, but it'll be very exciting and we wish you the best of luck. Any questions from board members?
We got one. So any of you can answer. How did you decide which civic problem to tackle? There's lots of them out there. So what led you to what you actually chose?
For me, it was mainly my passion in nursing because I really want to become a nurse when I get older. So I thought, is there any problem in the nursing work field that I can look at that is struggling? For me, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just knew that I wanted to try. And so I kind of researched ideas and I picked that one.
I was thinking, and a lot of the ideas that you would normally think of were taken, but recently there were more issues with vehicles and crashes, so I decided I would work on that. Me, I had no idea what I was going to do, but I've kind of looked up some stuff on mental health before, like past years, so.
Any other questions?
Well, all 4 topics are right on point. Good job, ladies.
Yeah, very relevant. Awesome. Congratulations.
So you dropped off softball stuff.
I saw you pulled off.
Are they trying to we get a picture? Yeah. You guys sing?
Mr. Randall, you want to talk to Mr. Randall?
The other Mr.
Parents, you can feel free to come up and get a picture closer.
Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations, ladies. Thanks for coming tonight. Best of luck Friday. I can't wait to hear all about it. Keep up the great work, okay?
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, families. You have to be really proud, but thank you all for taking a little bit out of your busy evenings, I know, to bring in and let us celebrate your wonderful kids. We appreciate it. If you would like to sneak out for the rest of the board meeting, you certainly can. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome to stay as well. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Mrs. Mary.
Waiting for the go ahead.
So how quickly they head to the doors.
My family was running right
There you
out.
All right, we'll move to financial items presented for board consideration and action. First, we have consideration approval of claims and payroll totaling $658,459.43. Claims totaling $521,992.74. HES ECA of $0 and junior senior high school ECA totaling $60,573.05. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Cody? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Next, we'll move to review of my monthly financial statements. Mr. Schaefer.
Okay, these items, per usual, are in your board packet, but the financial snapshot of our larger funds. The cash flow for education, again, green is actual, yellow is projected out. Cash flow for operations. Debt service. Rainy day. Our preschool cash flow. Our lunch fund cash flow. Our investment report. One of our CDs is coming up. It was this week. Mrs. Rushton and I are working on what we're doing with that. So that is some of our 2023 GO bond money that we use for transportation. So we're working with our transportation department to figure out when our next delivery of buses will be. We will pull out what we need to and place in that 2023 GO bond account and then reinvest the rest. So that we are working on that right now. And our grant reimbursement totals. I would entertain any questions on those documents before I go into a little bit different financial update this evening. Are there any questions on particular documents? So I wanted to share a little bit about now that we're tax time, and I think we're starting to see some of the impact of Senate Enrolled Act 1. And I want to be transparent and really continue the conversation of how some of the legislation pieces are going to impact schools and the decisions that we are making now and in future years as far as 2031. So one of the impacts from Senate Enrolled Act 1 was the homeowner property tax credit and deduction provisions. So that is beginning in 2026 and each year after. For homestead tax bills, it provides a new 10% property tax credit, which is capped at $300 that will be applied after the application of the circuit breaker credit and all other property tax credits. So again, that property tax credit will increase for property tax owners each year from starting this year in 2026 all the way through 2031. Additional tax deductions are given for things like current veterans, individuals over 65, blind or disabled education, solar energy, heating and cooling. So there are additional tax credits already beyond just the property tax. But while this is great for individual homeowners, property tax revenue is 57% of our $3.7 million revenue in our operations fund. So if you look over on the left side where it says operations fund revenue, all of that blue is revenue that we receive from property taxes that people pay. So if Senate Enrolled Act 1 is providing property tax credits to our homeowners, again, it's great for them. It means more dollars in their pocket, but it means less dollars in that blue area from a school funding standpoint. Our operations fund is used for building maintenance and repairs, technology equipment and systems, furniture fixes, and all costs associated with transporting students to and from school, including bus driver salaries, bus purchases, fuel, equipment, and repairs. In budget year 2026, we will lose $101,000 of property tax revenue as a result of the property tax credits for homeowners. So $101,000 is going to automatically come out of that property tax revenue. Another deduction in funding due to Senate Enrolled Act 1 is the removal of the local income tax, which also is funding schools. It is a smaller portion, but you can see it up there. If you look in comparison, keeping those two things in mind, which local income tax is going to be an additional 80,000. So we're talking about 181,000 slight out of our operations revenue this year, and that number is going to increase as we each year thereafter until 2031. So if you take a look at the right side graph, you can see the expenditures of our operations fund. You can see that most of those expenditures, which is the blue, are people, which are salaries and benefits, but you also have fuel, water, insurance, and those things are hard to change the cost on. We cannot change our insurance policies and not have as much covered. We cannot change our water or electricity cost and not pay as much. And not only is our usage staying the same, but the cost of those resources is significantly increasing as well. I'm sure you see those increasing from a homeowner standpoint. And so while it's very, very challenging to change the cost of fuel, water, insurance, it forces us to make cuts in positions, people, salaries, and benefits to absorb the impact from the loss of revenue in property tax revenue and local income tax revenue. That's a little bit about our operations. If you take a look at our education, it's a little bit of a different story, but it's similar in the sense that many schools across the state of Indiana are facing the same challenges. So if you look at our education fund, we have seen the impact of an enrollment decline. So since the school year 2020-2021, Nettle Creek Schools has lost 100 students. That is a decrease in approximately 742,000 year after year. While student tuition has increased slightly over the years, we have had additional expenses of curricular materials, which is about 125,000, and other legislative mandates of increasing total teacher compensation that have also increased our expenses out of our control in the education fund. Again, increased teacher compensation is awesome, great for teachers, and it has great benefits, but they come at an expense of decreasing that funding pot or the amount available for all of the other things that you must have to run a school and educate students. Traditionally, when we've lost an employee, we have filled that position. Due to the decline in enrollment, the increase in costs coming from education fund and the minimal per student tuition increase, we need to cut roughly $600,000 out of our education budget this year to not be spending down our cash balance in our education fund. From the charts, again, you can see that the state basic grant, which is student tuition, is our primary source of revenue in the education fund. That means when we lose students, we lose that revenue source. For every student we lose revenue in our state basic grant. One question I thought of is why has enrollment declined? In 2014, Nettle Creek School Corporation had a demographic study completed by McKibben Demographics. It listed in that demographic study that factors included that the baby boom generation has passed through the prime childbearing ages. A significant proportion of over 70 population will downsize their housing units and subsequently move out of the district. The locally born 18 to 24-year-old population in the prime childbearing ages will continue to leave the area to go to college or to other urban areas, with the magnitude of this out migration flow slowly increasing. And then also just the school district having a negligible increase in the stock of housing over the next 10 years to attract and have places for families to move into. Since the enrollment study was provided to Nettle Creek schools in 2014, I went back to look at and compare what did the study say and what has our enrollment actually looked like. And it is very, very accurate from that enrollment study of how it has negatively impacted the enrollment. I think the unique thing that we think about as we move forward is now we're not only facing the challenges of housing and maybe not quite as many people having children, but we're also facing challenges of online schools, virtual schools, charter schools, micro schools, and just the opportunity for families and students to choose open enrollment, choose which school they want to go to. So what are we going to have to do? I think we're going to have to work really hard, and we're going to have to obviously make some budget cuts. The revenue is not as big as it used to be, and if we continue to spend as we always have, we're going to spend down our cash balance very quickly. These factors, most of which are really out of our control, are why some of the decisions that schools, not just us, but schools around the state of Indiana are having to make some really hard decisions, not filling open positions, not looking at some of the benefits that we've offered to students and families and having to cut some of those out. Again, if you open local media sources, I think that you'll see a lot of schools talking about this right now. A lot of schools, even in our area, who have started making cuts to staffing, making cuts to programming, making cuts to resources. And I think you're going to continue to see that heavily right now in the initial, but over the next several years as we continue to feel the impact of Senate Bill 1. We're being asked to offer more to students with fewer dollars to work with. And so it's becoming very, very challenging. And we're just going to have to be very, very good stewards of our money and look at things a little bit differently because of the changes. Any questions about any of the information in that portion that I have shared?
I don't really have questions, but some things that stood out on what you were sharing was $181,000 less in operations is a big number for a school our size. That's a very big number. That got my attention. And then when you were talking about on the education fund, and how much due to not only lost students revenue, but also there's a funding element from the state that goes into that as well. But we look at the things, and I'm really glad we've been able to, the state's done some of the things to help families, like, you look at book fees, and our families aren't having to come up with a big chunk of money. And that was hard for a lot of our families. And when you look at other states that didn't charge book fees, we were one of the few that did. So, I get why we do some of those things, but there wasn't an offset on the funding for the schools. So we still had to come up with that money. And so that was a big hardship. Again, glad that our families are in a better position. When we go back to the property tax side, I'm going to make this personal for just a second. I found it very interesting that I received my property tax statement yesterday. And last year our taxes went up. This year we saved the whole $25. So I think about that $25, and I know that everybody's situation is different. If you own farm ground, you have a different situation. It's calculated differently. If you live on a very small parcel, maybe in town, you might have a different tax base. If you live in Wayne County versus Henry, because I live in Henry County, still part of the school district, but in Henry County, it's a different tax base. So there's all kinds of variables that go into that. But I want to go back to that. It saved me $25. I would rather the school have that $25, or dividing between the library and get their piece too. So I look at the services that we're paying for that those taxes help to cover. So I think we just have to be realistic about where we're taking it from one or giving it to one and taking it from the other, and however you want to describe that. The other thing I thought that was very interesting that you were touching on, because I've thought about this quite a bit, and I've heard others talk about this, is the lack of affordable housing. It's hard to attract families to our community when we don't have a stock of housing coming in, whether that's apartments or rentals, or whether it's being able to build out communities that's affordable. And so I think that's challenging for our area too. So Emily, I really appreciate you bringing these things to us in these details so that we can kind of start thinking about what really is happening that's making a difference for us to provide, the educational resources and the services that our families have come accustomed to having available to them. So
I think it's going to have to be very intentional. We're going to obviously have to have continued conversation, because we're talking about things like cutting large amounts of dollars out of our budgets. But I think what we have to do as school leaders and as board members is we have to continue to communicate our community on what is going on and what the impact is. I'm not sure all of our families understand the educational impact to Senate Enrolled Act 1, or the legislative impact to education after each session. But I think it's our responsibility to help them understand and to help educate them, so that when we are making really, really, really hard decisions that do impact our teachers, that do impact our students, that do impact our community and families, they have an understanding of as a little bit as to why we're having to make some of those changes. Again, continued conversation, but this is my effort again to just try to continue to educate the community and to share the story of Nettle Creek Schools.
Any other comments or questions? Thanks for that, Ms. Schaefer. Looks like we'll move to school news.
All right, we're going to get back to exciting things after the doom and gloom. And I'm going to kick it off with the district first. We have Mrs. Lisa Bain here with us this evening. Mrs. Bain is not only one of our outstanding first grade teachers. But if you remember a few months ago, probably about 6, she came and proposed about Act 1 and starting that. And so she is here to share a little bit about Act 1 tonight and give the board an update.
All right, well, I asked Mrs. Schaefer once we complete our musical, I said, since we started with the school board meeting saying, hey, can we do this? We wanted to wrap it up and share the success. So March 13th and 14th was our Showtime weekend. Now, unfortunately, Mother Nature decided to interfere and knocked out the power about an hour and a half before showtime. So we made the difficult decision to postpone that show to Sunday. But the community showed up in droves for us on Saturday night. And we had a terrific weekend. So I just want to share by the numbers that our students completed over 80 hours of practice. That was with 30 scheduled rehearsals. We had 28 performers on stage, 3 fourth graders. One of them is present tonight, Miss Faith Houghton. We had 14 fifth graders and 10 sixth graders and 1 ninth grader. I said 1. Maddie, you're in fourth grade. I'm so sorry. We had 10 weeks of rehearsals. We also had 8 squirrels, and I've got one of them with me tonight. And even though we do refer to her affectionately as a squirrel at home, she genuinely got to be our squirrel on stage. We came up with the idea, Ms. Cranfield and I, to invite younger siblings, grades 1, 2, and 3 of performers, to participate in 1 scene and 1 song to give them a bit of a taste of the program, kind of as a feeder device that, ooh, did you like this? You want to keep doing it? So that's our intention each year, if we can invite younger siblings to just be a small participant in the show. We had 5 stagehands working behind the scenes, 3 tech team members, 2 co-directors that sometimes questioned, did we really want to do this? But it ultimately brought us one amazing experience. It was wonderful. So officially, by the end of the weekend, we had a total of 570 people in attendance. We brought in over $5,000 through ticket sales and candy grams. To compare that to last year's experimental workshop with Nettle Creek Players, we had 340 people in attendance and they brought in $2,400. So we are overjoyed, Ms. Cranfield and I, with the success that our very first musical brought us. We cannot wait to figure out what we're doing for next year. We will plan right now to follow the exact same procedures that the fall will be our open club to grades 4 through 12, not going down to kindergarten yet. And then second semester auditions for the spring musical. And we're hoping that perhaps next summer we'll have had enough experience under our belts to offer a day camp for any theater goers in the community. So, but anyway, we just want to say, Ms. Cranfield, I want to say thank you for your support from the beginning and allowing us to run wild with this crazy idea. I think the students had fun. You gonna do it again? You better say yes right now. Okay, so I just wanted to share, it was a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bain. And I will just echo, like, kudos to you and Mrs. Cranfield. It was amazing. I had an opportunity to see it planning on Friday, and I think that was one of my most stressful days on the job, evenings on the job, is when you're standing there with your program director and you have no electricity and you're thinking, what are we going to do? Okay. She handled it very well and that's appreciated. But bounced back and went Saturday and Sunday, and it was amazing. It might be the highlight of this school year for me. Just to see our students, to see the theater program back at Nettle Creek Schools. It was outstanding. You guys have done such a wonderful job, and I can't wait to see it to continue to grow. Thank you for taking it on. I know it's not easy. It's all volunteer work for you. And we again, these are the things that make Nettle Creek Schools amazing, is the people that we have, the dedication, and what they will provide, the experiences to our students.
I'm glad we're trying really hard to fix for over, because he was approved last year in the workshop, because that was open to the whole county, and I had a difficult conversation with them. This year it has to be enrolled. He's currently homeschool, so they are thinking in 7th grade going in the elementary, perhaps trying to get him over for a couple classes so he can participate with the sprints in that.
Love it.
Fingers crossed, it will help bring in support students from here.
Awesome.
And I do want to say that she also provided a lot of information to family members this past week of all the extra activities for the summer in theater and all different locations. And she was going to send out a link to the parents and children that would like to participate all summer long. So she's even more so of giving. So yes.
Awesome.
And my two girls, I can't even believe that Maddie had her picture up on the screen. I love you, Peanut. Your answer was great. Maddie, on the best part of Willy Wonka, she said, the end. That was her favorite part, the end. I was just like, thank God Mrs. Bain loves her.
That's outstanding. Any other questions,
thank you.
comments from Mrs. Bain?
Just loved it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Very glad you came to watch.
Yeah, it was awesome. And honestly, the thing I was most impressed with, I mean, it was very entertaining. It was almost perfect. I mean, there were slight hiccups here and there, and those little hiccups are what I was impressed with, because the kids and you and everyone that had to deal with them dealt with them flawlessly. Nobody got upset, that mics fell off and they just continued going on and rolled with it and fixed it on the fly. It was, the poise of the students was awesome to see.
And I'm going to chime in on that. I think it was Saturday night. We had one little interruption and our kids were on stage and they handled it so well. And I mean, I was impressed. They never moved. Nobody stared. I mean, nothing. And the poor parents, walked out and they just resumed. And it was just, I got goosebumps just even thinking about it, because it was just so character from parents, from teachers, the whole works, because it could have been, but your whole group handled that situation very well.
That's not something we received from a family member. She sent a message to Michaela and I asked her, saying, I don't know how you had time to do all this, let alone teach them that they need to go say thank you to their people. That's what we're doing. So life lessons. So yeah, that was priority number one. Get off stage, thank your fan club, everybody else who sees, show gratitude to the stage. Come outside.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Thank you, Mrs. Bain. Appreciate the update as well. Moving on, in more district news, Miss Johnson's kindergarten class recently completed a collaborative project where they wrote and illustrated a book on farm animals. To celebrate the publication, the class held a red carpet reading. While the book was impressive, the culture of the classroom was really the star. As Miss Johnson read each page, the students clapped and praised for their peers' contributions. We're not only building a community of supporters, but we're also building a community of learners. You can see in the picture on the left, Miss Johnson reading the finished product to the entire class. The picture in the middle is a signature of all of the authors. These are our kindergarten students. And then the picture on the right is an example. Each student wrote about their favorite farm animal and illustrated a picture, and all of those were put into that book about farm animals. Going on, our students learn best. We know our students learn best when they are not hungry. Today, we took a big step in supporting our families with opening of our outdoor food pantry at Hagerstown Junior Senior High School. This project represents the best of Hagerstown, student, staff, and community members coming together to meet a need. Whether you need a little help this week or you have some extra to share, the pantry is open to everyone at any time. You can find it on the north side of the school by door 2. At any time, you can grab what you need or drop off what you have. It's not locked. It just has a little thing so that the door doesn't blow open, hinge, but it's not locked. It's open all the time. We're just incredibly grateful to Will Herr. He is the husband of Dr. Christy Herr, our ag teacher and FFA leader. Will constructed this for us, which was much cheaper than buying a shed like that, and fine craftsmanship, if I have to add. The Hagerstown FFA finished it. They painted it for me, and our Hagerstown baseball team raised some donations for the initial funding of food to put in there. So collectively, we just are continuing to make a difference in our community and in our students to ensure that no tiger goes hungry. Our Nettle Creek Golf Challenge is set for Sunday, April 26th at Winding Branch Golf Course. This event is open to the first 18 teams who sign up. This is our sole fundraising event to support our end of year celebration for our teachers and staff. We're seeking whole sponsorships, donations, and raffle prizes. This fundraiser allows us to provide a meal at Willie and Red's for our staff at the end of the year. We also at this meal recognize our retirees in the corporation, our years of service, and other exceptional dedication to our mission. If you would like to donate, please reach out to the admin office for more information. Yesterday was a really exciting day at the senior high school. Yesterday, we celebrated one of our seniors, Katie Cowan, who recently was named a top 10 candidate for the Keystone Cooperative Seed Program. There were over 40 applicants in the state of Indiana, and Katie was the first Hagerstown High School recipient to this program. Katie's success is no accident. From her course selection, her FFA involvement, and her work-based learning opportunities. It's a result of being intentional with her education. The SEED program is a 2-year full-time paid career launching initiative for recent high school graduates. It offers benefits, mentorship, and rotations through agronomy, energy, grain, and swine nutrition divisions. It takes a village to raise a tiger, and as you can see in the middle picture, Katie had a very large group that celebrated yesterday for her signing with Keystone Seed Program. Congratulations to Katie on this elite accomplishment. It was also great to see 2 Hagerstown graduates who now are a part of the Keystone Cooperative team. Lindsay Sankey is their Director of Public Relations, and Caitlin Lacey is their Seed Coordinator. So it's kind of a full circle moment. As you can see, Lindsay and Caitlin are in the picture with Katie on the far right. We had a work-based learning spotlight with our senior Isaac Schmitz, was highlighted by the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce for his intern opportunity at the chamber. He stated he took the opportunity to be a part of a formational experience, along with making connections that could be great resources for his future. He stated that he has done just that. It's great to see our students participating in meaningful career building experiences while still in high school. Another exciting opportunity for our community. We have always struggled with having a resource in the summer for our kids to attend. Boys and Girls Club has not yet come to our Hagerstown unit, but they are opening up their Wayne Bank unit in Cambridge City. So we're excited to at least have a closer option for our community for summer camps with Boys and Girls Club and summer childcare. Registration is currently live. And so we're excited that Boys and Girls Club is offering up something closer for our families closer than Richmond. So another exciting opportunity for our families. I think it was shortly before our last board meeting, we were preparing for the iStar banquet. And I shared that we would be hosting that. I think it was that very next evening. I'm thrilled to share that 3 of our top students were recognized, along with a teacher who they chose that has made an impact on their learning. Hallie Pruitt recognized Mr. Chris Oliger, our Hagerstown High School math teacher. Zeta Kersey recognized Mrs. Julie Arnold, our Hagerstown High School school counselor, and Sophia Sinise recognized Mrs. Beth Overfield, our senior high school art teacher. Mr. McCaslin was our MC for the evening and hosted the event. That is a rotating event to all, is it 9 schools involved, 8 schools involved, and there's nothing like being in your first year as principal and getting to host host the famous I-Star banquet. So he knocked it out of the park, did a great job, fed everybody well. He was able to get a donation from Firehouse Barbecue. And so they partnered with us and we were able to feed all of the families from the surrounding schools, students and teachers with a great meal as well. Appreciate that partnership. Indiana's new accountability model, the IDOE finalized the new model at the State Board of Ed meeting in March. We have not had a school letter grade. Some of you may not even know what a school letter grade is, but we have not had a school letter grade in 7 years. But guess what? They're coming back this year. With this model, it's very different than the model that has been used previously when schools were given a letter grade. But within this model, every student truly matters. Initial points are based on academic mastery, but additional points are for knowledge, skills, and experiences, which is new. We're not just measuring schools based off of student academic performance, but now we're taking other things into consideration like their knowledge, skills, and experiences. It keeps the focus on reading and math in early grades, but elevates to that work-based learning and the credentials of value in high school. So we shared 2 great outstanding achievements by 2 of our high schools seniors, work-based learning, how they are excelling in that career field. And those types of experiences are going to start to matter as you factor in the 11 and 12th grade band. We will receive, I want everybody to hear this, okay? We will receive our first school letter grade based off of the 25-26 school year. That's this school year. We're going to receive a letter grade for this school year. But guess what? They didn't finalize what they were going to grade us on until March at the State Board of Ed meeting. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. We've been moving along, having no idea what we would be graded on or that we would get a school letter grade this year, but we are going to get one, and it's going to be done so sort of blindly. So let's keep that in mind when they release that school letter grade in late 2026, probably November, December. But what we do know now is we know what the criteria is. We took a team to East Central Indiana Service Center earlier this week, yesterday, and our school counselors, our administrators from both buildings, myself and Mrs. Tinkle, and to really dive in and start to understand how are we going to be assessed and what kinds of things can we put in place starting yesterday when we got home from the training to start positively impacting our school grade. I think one of our administrators said it best. We have a lot of these mechanisms already in place. Now we just need to be more intentional with every single student and make sure that we are giving them as many opportunities to be successful and gain points for our school letter grade. SAT update, I'm going to throw it over to Mrs. Tinkle to give a little update on SAT. We celebrated, I think it was last meeting that we had 100% attendance, but we've received some of our results back. And so I'm going to throw it to her to give an update on SAT.
Sure. So we are very proud of our juniors and all of our staff at the junior senior high school. They went above and beyond to do some great preparation work for the SAT. So some celebrations that we have for our results, 39% of our students met or exceeded the total benchmark score set by College Board, which is at 1010. So 39% of our students did meet or exceed that benchmark. 66% of our students met or exceeded the reading and writing benchmark score set by College Board, which was 480. So you can see we have gone up significantly since last year. Another celebration here is we were above the state total score average. We were above the state reading and writing score average and we actually tied with the state math score average. So we are very proud of our students. We do have work to do still, and we will continue to do that hard work. Another positive, today we administered for the first time the PSAT 8-9 to our freshmen. So we are getting a good early jump start, starting with our freshmen beginning this year. It was a very, very smooth administration of that test today in the exact same fashion that the SAT is administered to. So we are very proud of our freshmen. They have also been going through a boot camp, and we will continue to look at those scores when we receive those in a few weeks and start preparing for how we're going to prepare those freshmen for next year's test as sophomores taking the PSAT and MSQT. They'll take that in October. So we'll do some really hard grinding work with them based on their results too. We have also been finishing up iLearn checkpoint number 3 before next week begins the summative iLearn assessment for the year in grades 3 through 8. So we have set schedules for the elementary and the junior, senior high for grades 3 through 8, and the summative assessment will start next week. The scores will not be released right away. We will get science scores sometime this summer, but due to some of the new testing requirements and the state figuring out different score scales and scale bands, we will probably not receive our scores before the start of the school year. The Indiana State Board of Education will have to approve the score bands August 11th, I believe. So scores will not be released before then, but we will keep looking to see how we can grow our kids.
Awesome, thank you. And one last update from the district. All Pro Dads at our elementary school has been meeting monthly. We approved this program to run, I believe it was last year. Mr. Swallow, our 5th grade teacher, has been leading All Pro Dads, and they meet one Friday a month. Last Friday, there were 62 in attendance, and retired HHS principal, Hagerstown Junior Senior High School principal, Mr. Mark Childs, spoke on patience. It was great to see just community members continue to give back to our schools. All Pro Dads has been a great program to bring children and adults together in a positive way. We appreciate just Mr. Swallow and what he has provided to our students and our families, but also Mr. Childs for coming back and continuing to give to our school as well. With that, I'm going to throw it to Mrs. Locke on HES News.
I have a lot of great news to share with you from Ohio. I want to spotlight math checkpoint 3, specifically for 3rd grade and for 5th grade. If you kind of look at the screen, the 3rd grade math checkpoint was at 56%, and that's 7 points higher than the state average. We were super excited about that. The students were above proficiency, in 4 out of the 6 standards tested, which is amazing. 56% of 5th grade students scored proficient or higher on checkpoint 3. The state average is 45%, so that's 11% higher. Out of the 7 standards assessed, 3 were above proficiency and the last 4 were at or near. We had 1 student score a perfect score on checkpoint 3 in 5th grade in math, and that was Mr. Rowan Winslow. He scored a 6850, which is amazing. One thing I want to talk about that's not up there is that we are having a black light art show in this room Friday night from 3 to 7. Mrs. Faust is going to be doing that, so hope you guys can check that out. And then also, we've got some pretty cute things to share.
Some more babies.
More tiger, tiger babies, tiger cubs. We've got Millicent, who Mrs. Chloe Bush is her mommy. And then we've got Miss June, whose mommy is Mrs. So we're super excited about that. And that will make 4 babies this year so far. And we have 1 more. So
I can't wait till that kindergarten class comes in.
And I'm not drinking the water in this.
I was gonna say. I was just thinking, I love babies, but whoo, I'm glad I'm sleeping at nighttime.
Last thing I wanted to share with you, and this just happened today, my gosh, it's just made me feel warm and fuzzy. We had a sub that's not always in our building. It's not Paul Sub. He was here today. He subs at other local schools. And he said, I just wanted to tell you that when I come into your building, there's just a different feel. And I said, tell me more about what you mean. He said, there's just a peace about this building. He said, everybody's so welcoming, everybody's just so friendly, and the kids behave just, wonderfully. And I was like, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Make my heart swell anymore. So that's good to hear, because he does have experience with other local schools. And he gave us a compliment that was huge. So.
Yeah.
Would agree.
Yeah, it's great. I want to go back to Mrs. Locke's iLearn and talk a little bit, just briefly about that. Checkpoints, like what does that mean when you are exceeding the state average? That's a major win for Nettle Creek schools. When we go back to accountability, those are the primary iLearn assessments, are the high stakes assessments that state whether our students are mastering grade level, content level standards. And so being above the state average means that a high percentage of Nettle Creek students have mastered those Indiana academic standards that are supposed to be taught during that window. We take checkpoints 3 throughout the year to kind of measure where students are at, but the overall is the assessment window that Mrs. Tinkle and Mrs. Locke just talked about, what we're gearing up towards. There are no harder workers, cheerleaders in the state of Indiana than our teachers here preparing these kids for iLearn. Try to convince me differently. There's not. Our teachers work very, very, very hard and very intentionally and strategically to prepare our students to perform well on the iLearn test, but not just that, to make sure that they are mastering those Indiana academic standards so that as they move on to the grade level, they continue to be successful. We want to offer the best, the highest quality education to every single one of our students, and that starts with having high quality teachers in front of our students. So wishing good luck to our teachers and students on our iLearn test. If you live with a teacher, if you know a teacher, check on them as we move throughout the rest of April and the beginning of May, because it's very stressful. They take it very personally, but really it is an all-in effort, and we're just cheerleading our teachers and our students to do their very best on these assessments. Yeah.
Our 3 areas of focus this year have been high quality instructional materials, unit preparation, and data analysis. And our teachers have really, really worked tirelessly this year in our professional development teams to make sure that those 3 areas are strong. And those 3 areas are areas that we want to continue to build upon. So just super extra kudos to all of our teachers.
And really quickly, from the district standpoint, we are tested in 12 sections for grades 3 through 8, ELA and math. We are above the state average in 10 out of the 12 sections. So that's fantastic.
Kudos to our team. Mr. McCaslin, you're up.
A lot of great news, obviously, already shared what's going on in the junior senior high school. A couple other things, our indoor percussion ensemble was awarded gold in the IPA finals. That was at Cicada Central a couple of weeks ago. Our Tigerettes color guard won gold with distinction at the divisional state finals. And that was the highest honor possible they could earn. We had a great celebration for our winter sports at the winter sports banquet, celebrating all of our winter sports, and our spring sports are off and rolling, and hopefully the weather cooperates this spring and we can get out and watch our athletes compete. Office staff won our staff member of the month. So our theme was kind of behind the scenes hero, and a lot of the nominations for our office staff up front that definitely go above and beyond in what their job is, and really help out and ensure our school runs with the success that it does. So our office staff members were Kaylee Dale, Janet Halcom, and Allison King.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I just want to go back and want to say one last thing before we move on to board member updates, but school finance is really hard to talk about right now. It's not very fun. But when we move on, there's a lot of really, really, really great students, great people, great leaders, and great things happening in Nettle Creek schools. And so I think as we move forward, we have to remind ourselves that challenging times are ahead, but we are still offering a lot of really great opportunities to our students and our staff and our teachers. And I hope that we continue to focus on that while moving through some challenging times as well. Turn it over to you.
Thank you. We'll move to board member reports. Mr. Banning,
Nothing from me.
Mrs. Lamar,
Nothing.
Mr. Sankey,
Nothing.
Mrs. Houghton,
Thank you.
Ms. Bloss,
Nothing.
Rob.
Nothing to add. Thank you.
And I guess I'll complete the cycle with nothing to add for myself either. No old business. We'll move to personnel items presented for board consideration and action.
Great. We have 2 non-certified staff positions, 3 ECA volunteers, and 1 resignation of an instructional assistant. I would ask that you approve those as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Don't move.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Next, we have recommendation and approval of a $1,524.65 donation from the Nettle Creek Educational Endowment Fund, County Foundation.
Each year, the Wayne County Foundation provides funds from the Nettle Creek Educational Endowment Fund. The funds must be used to support student learning at either building. I would ask that you approve this donation as presented.
Do you have a motion?
Moved. Second.
Cody? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Next, we have recommendation and approval of a $2,871.05 donation from the Bartle and Rowe Fund, Wayne County Foundation.
Through the Wayne County Foundation, there is a fund set up in the name of Bartle and Rowe to provide support to public elementary schools in Wayne County. Such support shall be used to purchase school supplies. This year, we received $2,883.35 from the foundation. I would ask that you approve this donation as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is that you, Sandy? Ruthie, sorry. What you guys sound like there. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Okay. Got an extra section there. Next, we have recommendation approval of the following community donations in memory of Chris Beeson to the Hagerstown Junior Senior High School Athletic Department. Schaefer.
Yep, Chris Beeson was a 1959 graduate of Hagerstown High School and a lifelong resident of Hagerstown. He bled purple and gold and would wear his letter jacket everywhere he went. He and Barbara rarely missed a Hagerstown Tiger baseball game and loved the Tiger kids unconditionally. Chris Beeson passed on March 17th of 2026, and memorials were requested to be made out to the Hagerstown Athletic Program. We had 13 donations in memorandum of Chris Beeson, totaling $1,025. I would ask that you approve those donations collectively as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Julie?
Mhm.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Next, we have recommendation and approval of a $500 donation from the Sons of American Legion Post 333.
The Sons of American Legion Post 333 made this donation to offset school lunch debt for students. This donation is greatly appreciated. I would ask that you approve this donation as presented.
Have a motion?
Second.
Sandy,
Second.
Cody. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. And next we have recommendation and approval of the following community donations for Act One.
We had 20 different individuals or organizations make monetary donations to our Act One program, totaling the amount of $4,400. I would ask that you approve those donations collectively as one as presented.
Thank you. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Sandy,
Second.
Mike. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Next, we have first reading of the Nettle Creek School Corporation Employee Handbooks.
Yep, historically, the district has operated without centralized and formally articulated employee handbooks. While core expectations have been understood, the lack of a singular reference document can lead to inconsistencies in communication and application of district standards. The primary goal for these handbooks is to provide our team with a reliable roadmap for their professional life within the district. By articulating these expectations in a formal document, we ensure that every employee, regardless of their role or department, has access to the same information, fostering a culture of transparency, fairness, and mutual accountability. I have included both of these drafts in the board packet for you to review. I would ask that you review the documents and provide any feedback that you may have. We will plan to approve both handbooks at the May board meeting, and then they will take effect on July 1 of 2026. Any additional questions on that? Okay.
Questions? I'd just say, these being brand new, if we could maybe set a goal for having those reviewed and feedback provided maybe here in 2 weeks, so we have some time to work through any issues before the next board meeting.
Perfect.
I'm good.
And I just have one question about the operation part. The director of operations being up there at the bus garage, is it going to like break down for communication from like bus drivers to Sarah to Charlie to Jason, or are we just focusing on Jason?
On
The director of operations part.
on the second job description,
Mhm.
not there yet. We're still on.
I'm jumping. I'm so sorry. I'm
Yeah.
jumping. I'm jumping. Okay, yep,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's great foreshadowing though.
Okay.
Thanks for leading us right into that topic.
Yes, I'm right down there. I'm like moving on to paper. Sorry about that.
So I will jump right in. Also included in your board packet, thank you, Marcy, for that segue, is our employee job descriptions. They have not been updated since 2016. We're working with each employee to update those job descriptions so that they more accurately reflect their job duties and responsibilities. A lot has changed since 2016 when you think about what the role of a high school principal does. And so I would ask that, again, you look over that first set and provide any feedback you may have. Same thing with the handbooks. We are taking our job descriptions, kind of like we do our board policies. I think this is going to answer your question, Marcy. We are doing sections of them at a time. It's very time consuming. So we have a running list. Mrs. Baroker has helped me with a running list. And as we board approve them, we will cross off those job descriptions. And each month, so when we come back in May, I will have a new list of first reading that then will be approved, and we will continue working all the way through each of our job descriptions so that our entire book of job descriptions is up to date this year. Does that answer your question?
Sounds good.
Perfect. So I would, again, make the recommendation. Job descriptions have already been through those individuals who they are tied to. For example, our executive admin assistant has already reviewed hers before it was provided to you all. So that feedback should be a little bit easier, and they're not as long as the handbooks, but the sooner I can get feedback, I think the sooner that we can collectively get on the same page and hopefully continue moving the process of approving those and officially updating those. Those, if approved in May, will not go into effect until July 1. And July 1 is our new contract date. That's why we are saying July 1 on both of those.
Thanks. So just to throw a date out there, let's say April 30th, the last day of the month, that'd give us roughly 2 weeks following that for revisions. So it's plenty of time for both the front end and the back end.
I think just a initial comment as I was reading through them is if somebody can just take the time to make sure they're formatted the same way. Because I was noticing that some of them were titled differently. I don't know, the formats were just slightly different. So the continuity is all the way through. I think that'll make them easier. to follow.
Absolutely.
And that's just a minor thing, but it'll make it easier to apply and review. And then I'm still reading on the detail, so.
Perfect. Thank you for that feedback.
You received mine.
Yes.
I didn't know how imperative all was.
Yeah.
Sent you. So
Yep.
That's.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Somewhat related, I guess, to the staff handbooks. So on the student handbooks, has there been any more thoughts to consolidating those to a corporation-wide?
Yes.
Okay.
Mrs. Morgan, our assistant principal at the elementary, and Mrs. Claywell, our assistant principal at the high school, are working on handbook revisions right now. This is the time of year where we typically bring those to you to approve them for the upcoming year, but we are taking a little bit more time because we are trying to streamline those into one. I don't know that it's going to be this year completely streamlined, but I think we're going to get to a first step in hopes of
Okay.
getting to a next step for a final product in the next year.
Good.
But yes.
All right, anything else? If not, items of information, our next meeting is May 13th here in the LGI room at 6:30, and we are adjourned at 7:40.
You see?